stance from Weibo. We're having a very
始まった NRG 対ウェイボーゲーミング2試合目レナータ、ランブル、アシールバンモーカイジャーバン、ザヤサッチとバンピックバンは同じですね。ファーストピックオリアナも同じでアフロスレルも同じ。そしてバイがバンされる前に取られました。バイカサンテ、今回はレネクトンではなくカサンテですね。ジャングルもイエゴじゃなくてバイ。そしてバンから漏れたニーコ。
And that was my idea of what NRG were thinking with their NAR ban last time around on ban number 5. They were thinking, hey, Weibo probably going to save the counter pick for the Shy, so we'll ban NAR and we'll try to get Kasante after they show first. Weibo beat up to the punch, so NRG now have bumped up the Kasante pick here before bans. I do expect them to do a little bit of protection ban for him against the Shy.
I think they're going to bump
NRG のセナ恐れられてます。
The Senna is going to be gone. You can probably look at something like the Kai'Sa being taken off the board here as well. Just trying to limit that pool. Maybe you want to look at something like a Jinx. We've seen us kind of teeter back into the Jinx Aphelios style, but I don't know if that's really what you want to do here for NRG.
So the two picks that the Shy has played against Kasante, as the NAR ban I'm talking about, NAR is the first one. The other one is the
WBG 勝ちましたよ1試合目。バロンを2回取って試合を破壊しましたね。バロンパワーでいいゲームでした。ジグスバン、ナーバン、カサンテのカウンターチャンピオンもバンしていく。マジです。バロンパワーで勝利。
I mean, this is something that Light has played and definitely something that I think is incredibly strong, but it's not something that I would have expected NRG to bring into the series today.
Yeah, NRG have talked about how they have so many picks still in their pockets.
ディエゴバン、ジャップスとかグエンが空いてますよ。カサンテ相手に。
Really annoying for Aphelios, of course, because Aphelios having no inherent dash, definitely an easy target for the bombs.
All right, final ban of the draft is the Viego from NRG
エイトロックス、エイトロックスもピックされることありましたね。カサンテ相手。確かにタンクに対しては強いチャンピオンですから。でもカサンテがそんなやれなくないと思うぞ。エイトロックス相手、タンクの中でも。お、カイサが選ばれました。カイサ、アリスター。
Yeah, this is completely worlds apart from draft number 1. Draft number 1 for NRG.
またミディオ、ミディオアフェリオスさっきと同じですね。トップラー、カサンテからエイトロックスに変わったゲームは全部ピックバン同じです。ウェイボー。いや、キックは同じです。ミディオアフェリオスすごかったな。射程も長いし、CC も効かない。歓喜ですね。本当大きいですよ。
The enchanter supports, especially when you look at
カイサのビルドどんな感じになるかな。
18
に行くのか。
You think of like, I mean, there's a meme with his Nautilus hooks. His Nautilus hooks kind of send him in, don't bring anyone else, and then you give over a kill as Weibo. So I definitely think it's been a case of, well, Crisp is feeling more confident on these styles, and you will have to see if you're going to have enough of that engaged setup and enough of that CC to set up here for Light, because this is way more dive focused, way more target focused on him than the last round.
Yeah, Weibo have so many options, right? With their comp, they can both play to peel and Kai back, as well as to set up their own plays, set up their own initiative, especially with Xiaohu and Wei Wei again. I also feel like Weibo are going to have more damage if NRG don't have a good beginning to the game. So I think the early stages of the game might be critically important for NRG to start kind of gaining some items and being able to bolster some of those base damage, because this time around they're running just a core of the 2 DPS, and while Kasante early stages, you know, base damage and stuff can do decently with the Iceborne, in the later stages Weibo will outpace.
And that's why I think you have to try and see if you can find this early success with NRG in the skirmishes, like we saw in game 1. 2 kills quickly going across the pallet box. Maybe you can try and set up for something like that once more, but not having the Renekton there and then having that Orianna in the mid lane, I think is going to make it kind of difficult to try and play top side. And in theory, Aphelios Milio should have control over the bot end.
Well, let's rock and roll. It's time for game number 2. Remember back in game number 1, we had a very, very close match for a very long time. It was Energy often just a little bit ahead in terms of the gold, 1 or 2,000. But once Weibo finally took control over the game, they never really let that grasp go. And it was them who were able to ultimately take the Nexus. Now, can Energy actually strike back with these changes in the draft? Taking away the content, grabbing the buy before it gets banned. Or does Weibo's comp that they put together in game number 1 very slightly tweaked have that secret sauce once again?
Yeah, this is going to have to be the game for Energy to prove that they can actually beat a carry plus enchanter bottom lane with allowing Chris now 7 times in a row with playing a ranged bot lane support for themselves. If Energy fail here, then it's going to be very rough.
All right, as the minions are about to spawn, a reminder. Remember that you can log into your Riot account on lolesports.com and watch Worlds live to earn exclusive Worlds emotes and icons. That's right now. Worlds is live. Go do it. Honestly, you probably already are since you're here watching right now. You can see Weibo starting their own jungle path here at the enemy Raptors as Weiwei is going to steal that one away. And Contracts now under pressure from the enemy jungler. He's going to have to be careful. It's level 1 versus level 2. Rel's not normally a duelist, but he's dueling Contracts straight to the dash. Shattering strike. Contracts trying to run it off, has to flash. Weiwei absolutely throttles Contracts' early plan.
And that's a disaster for Contracts now, because Weiwei can actually start to path through mid with the push. You've already got the clear on top side, and they can look to contest that top end of the map as well.
The delayed invade. So good. Getting level 2 off the Raptors.
Delayed, and they don't see it in the fog of war. It's so good with the Rel. So many of these jungle champs nowadays having really powerful AoE options available to them.
そしてボットのカイサーリスターも
He runs Contracts
アリスターというレーン最弱チャンピオン 何もできず
Massive stuff for Weibo because now they can count
相手のボットが寄れないからこういうプレーを強引にできると
pushing lanes here to be able to defend their own red quadrant. They have wards on their own Raptors, on their own red as well to see if
いやボットレーンの主導権はありません当然 牛くん弱すぎる これマナー違反ですねマナー違反です今からマナーを違反するだいぶされる
for both Energy bottom laners. Weibo's ready to collide here for the 3-man play, but Weiwei misses the shattering strike. So that means the play gets called off instead. Energy are going to hit their level 2s. Contracts now has an opportunity to move into the enemy jungle and get a red buff after all.
Yeah, because he shows bottom there, and there's no move from either of the solo lanes. That is going to be some welcome catch-up for Contracts.
I think it's a massive mistake from Weibo.
これは大きいです
Like you try and look, Weiwei could have gone through mid, look at the push already there, and started contesting that top side to push the shy house. Instead they go for that play on top side.
タワーのダメージすごいから
But then you look at
レベ
like,
ル
well,
2
Rel into
で
Alistar.
ダイブする
Alistar
のは
literally counters
さ
me.
すがに
He's great
難
because
し
he
いぞ
can stop the engage, stop any
サ
sort
ム
of
マスペル
follow.
も全部ある
You
し
don't really
な
have the tankiness then to try and follow through, and it's not like FBI and Ignar are kind of a pushover. Now Contracts looking on this top
トッ
side after picking up
プエイトボックスがかなり体力有利ですよ
Force the shy
お吉高さんオスですオス
Nope, goes for it. Does not collide on the target.
ワールズ見てます2戦目ですね
Pathbreaker to immediately push the shy back. Vaultbreaker goes out. The shy flashing away. Doesn't hit with the Q3. Doesn't hit with the Infernal Chains as a counter attack. So the shy losing flash.
バイのガンクでエイトボックスのフラッシュがなくなったと
into his wolves. His Raptor's gonna get stolen on second respawn here, though, by Weiwei. Obviously, he has
また取りに行って食べられる
they're the ones who stole it themselves. Level
これ
1.
レルの9位で
That's going to be
小さい
also an
鳥
area
全
that's
部
very
食べられる
comfortable
の
for
ダメ
Shadow to
ー
play
ジ強
off
すぎ
of,
るぞ
covering back down towards his bottom side.
I think this is good from Weibo though to try and punish Contracts. When I've seen NRG performing at their best here at the World Championship, it has been through
これちょっと
Contracts.
ルール違反してると思う
On this board, he should be in just a
この
moment.
ジャングルクリアスピ
NRG
ード
will
は
know this is coming.
So they do have Dokla and Palfox
他
possible
のタンクジャング
teleports
ル
to be able to teleport to tower.
こんな速くない
Here
の
we
に
go again. Weiwei coming in, looking for the shattering strike.
いやー
Again,
簡単な
he
ダイブ
doesn't
じゃない
find
ぞ
what
こ
he's
れ
looking for. Weiwei's gonna try to get away now. He walks back into the
Nice.
brush. The ignite used by Ignar just to guarantee if they kept that play going, Weiwei would
ナイ
have
スナ
died.
イス
They're not getting the kills, but NRG are under a lot of pressure on the spot side. You're looking at the CS.
アリスターは
It's
だい
about
ぶ
a
精度
10 CS lead
だい
going
ぶ
across
耐性
to
は
Weibo
高い
on
で
the
すか
bottom
ら
because they're constantly being forced on NRG side to give up CS, back away from the turret every time this wave hits. So
偉い
it's still
これは
nesting these little leads for Weibo despite the fact Weiwei's not connecting.
Yeah. At this tournament, bot lane prio has been primary for Weibo. They've stuck to
ジャン
these
グルに
range
来られてる
supports
側が何も
over
失
and
って
over
ない
and over. They use
これは
that
偉
to
い
get their turret plates, to get their minion waves built up, so you can have these visits down here. And Light definitely paid them back in the last game.
I mean, you guys are
今
talking
回
about
俺
the
ら
bottom
なんで
lane
買いま
CS
すね
advantage. It's the smallest one on the Rift. Top lane, it's a lead for the Shy. Mid lane, it's a lead for Xiaohu. Weibo is just outlaning energy across the Rift right now. They've got a 600 gold lead with no kills. Now Ignar is going to get rooted up by the Gravitum. Crash down from Weiwei. First blood, and it goes over to Chris.
もしかして
This is so good from Weibo, just going, hey, look, as long as we control this bottom
涙
quadrant,
打ちなんで
we
すわ
control the bot side of the map. And once more, it's just Weiwei going, I don't care about lanes.
Shibou
Yes,
desu.
I'm going to go, but Crisp.
Crisp having to flash away now himself as Contracts catches him at the very end of his recall, nearly getting a punish there, but not enough.
And that's a big wave built up too. FBI here after the visit from Contract should be fine. But man, the transition here
一
for
歩
Weibo
電話
looking
がかかって
pretty
き
good
た
as
の
we
で
get
一回に
Dokwa
失します
all
ね
out,
失
and
礼
the
します
Shy answers with Aatrox's ultimate as well.
But this is what we were talking about, right? When you look at NRG, we kind of were like, look, FBI needs to get up and running early. You want him to be in a position where, like, okay, we can actually look maybe towards these things like early dragons after we find a couple of successful ganks from Contracts in the bot lane, try to set ourselves up for team fights so we can play around. But with how Weibo are dictating the pace of this game, you're going to have an opportunity for Light to start to scale into a position where he's comfortable.
まさか参
The
戦
big
で
question for me is kind of looking at things like this Rift Herald in the coming minutes as well, because Weibo are actually going to get this first dragon, and you imagine then trying to use the mid pressure that Xiaohu has once more and the control over bot side to lane itself in towards the Rift Herald in a minute's time.
The control over bot side already translating into the first neutral objective of the game with this first Drake, 7 minutes in. So that'll be an easy pickup there for Weiwei, a little bit more damage, plus the smite gets it done. Nearly a 2,000 gold lead at 7 minutes from this incredible laning coming out from the Weibo squad all around. Contracts, once again, gonna look for something bottom, but the problem is, it's red, white guns on Light, and he's level 6 with the ulti. You don't even win that 3v2.
And there's a Xiaohu, and there's a Weiwei, and there's a ton of Weibo members that want to get involved.
Yeah, the return of the focus to bottom lane for Weibo. Oh, here we go.
Xiaohu trying to get out of this one, dropping the clone, using it to be able to block the Vault Breaker. That clone is so powerful because of its ability to block things.
Yeah, so strong though for Weibo, splitting the map with their starting straight from level 1 and being able to control this bottom side, because when you scale into the game with an enchanter on your team, it makes those team fights so easy to play out.
Also, having control over Contracts means he's massively far behind and trying to hit level 6. Didn't go towards his top side to get the camps there that were respawning. He's now picking up his red that just respawns on bot side. But when you look at Weiwei, he gets 2 camps. He's going to be able to hit level 6. They can start to play for Rift Herald. So Contracts need to very swiftly clear out this top side and get a reset in if he hopes to match where the strength is of the Rel right now.
Rel translating that strength up into the top side. River going for a quick Rift Herald. You can see Crisp rotating up here alongside Light. Weibo is bringing the entire team to guarantee that they have control over this objective. Energy is just strictly behind. I would be surprised if they really want to try to contest this at all. The Herald already mostly dead. One more eyeball proc plus a smite should just seal the deal. And there it is. Weiwei picks it up. Weibo are getting everything in game 2.
And it's just playing off of so well around this bottom side of the map. And this, as Kobe was saying, has become the Weibo special, to be honest, both in playoffs, regional finals, and now at the World Championship. Weiwei going for these level 3 ganks consistently in the bot side, trying to make sure that anyone that Light and Crisp are up against are under pressure, and they keep going. There's losses all over the place, man.
And we get the -1. Come on, make it stop, Flowers.
I don't think Weibo are taking their foot off the gas pedal anytime soon, man. These guys are looking like a machine here in game number 2. Light's already got his Berserker's Greaves. He's still got another CS advantage. This guy's just insane.
And this is where I expect Weibo to continue putting this pressure on the bottom side, right? Xiaohu gonna have control, Rift Herald down in the plunket there, make sure you're able to get the charge, get more gold into Light's hands, and then again, just let Light be this massive Aphelios with the accompanying Melio. And it's again just trying to play off the fact that you've got the enchanted setup there in the bot lane.
All right, Weibo, surprise, surprise. He's on the bottom side of the map. Haven't seen this before. Palafox gonna run away though and dodge the snare.
And you can see him dodging that snare away. Remember, this is our featured matchup, the junglers and mid laners. Contracts and Palafox versus Weiwei and Xiaohu. Featured matchup presented by Mercedes-Benz. So much for both teams revolves around how these duos interact. And so far in this one, Weiwei's early control over the jungle, y'all already talked about it, is allowing Weibo to just dominate the game.
I think Contracts punched first in game 1, but it's kind of Weiwei punching last now, as he's able to get the win in the last game, now controlling this as well. I think you need to find a way to shut this down.
Yeah, and it is Light from the rafters with the steel chair that comes in and says, my featured matchup knocks everybody out down there. Let's see if he can do it again. Also, I have in the back of my mind this Aatrox that we were talking about in draft for the Shy, and how it has been, along with the Gnar, his preferred pick into the Cassante. We're going to get to see why as he approaches his one item, and we start to see the transition of the teams into more of those skirmishes.
Yeah, the Shy's Aatrox, nothing to be messed with, man. This guy is so good in the champ.
And remember, at the beginning of the tournament, he was still building lethality Aatrox, but he said after that one, his coaches talked to him, and they were like, hey, yo, so Freak buffed up the Gore Drinker, and a lot of the, never mind, we're going to go for a bottom side dive here. Energy, they kill the ward, they're still gonna go.
Energy wants to make the 4-man play. They got the Unbreakable Will and they're ready to start.
Yes,
Weiwei's already here for the counter attack, but they just Instinct's gonna find Light, and he's already down. Ignore the flash, make sure he doesn't pay one back. Pop Blossom only finds one. Xiaohu's gonna pick up Ignore, but now he might be taken down. World Enders ready to end their world, baby. FBI staying alive only for a moment to kill Xiaohu, but now they're trapped between a rock and a hard place. FBI falls. There's nothing left. Energy are crushed. It's 5 kills over to Weibo.
The Shy teleports down behind them and slams the door shut behind Energy after what was a successful dive onto Light, killing the Aphelios, getting the flash. But the Shy is here. There's no escape. They grab the extra kills, and while Dokla does get played on the top side, the Shy will get the same bottom in there. Is a dragon up, so you can transfer that mid pressure over towards the dragon as well.
Got a little ahead of myself, only 4 in that specific engagement. Dokla, luckily, still alive on the other side of the map. But now, a TP coming in. They want to try to get something back. Big Dokes wants to get involved. They're going after Crisp and Weiwei. Crisp, low HP, still trying to get himself out. But Dokla's not going to get much of anything. The Drake is at least alive. Energy might be able to use this momentum to try to snowball his objective as the Shy retreats back into Tier 1 turret.
Energy are playing for the Dragon, but it's Weibo playing for plates on this Aphelios. You can see immediately Light enters up towards that top side. He wants to try and push in and get a few more of these plates. And you can see here, as we start to go for this dive, immediately pops the Unbreakable win. He's will to actually go for this dive. They get on towards Light, immediately get rid of him. But it's the TP for the Shy who's just come off the reset. It's the ulti for Xiaohu that actually gets interrupted by Contracts. But now you're incredibly separated. FBI is taking a ton of damage, and there's just nowhere for Energy to escape.
Yeah, the Shy came in first. The Shy came in second, Xiaohu came in first. And they close the door, they pick up all 4 of the kills here. And now back to the top side, they've already rotated the bottom lane here for Weibo.
Aatroxにキルを渡さないと。
Game number 2 here in this series is feeling a lot more like the first time we saw these two teams fight all the way back in the Swiss stage. Weibo is just absolutely running the map. Energy does not seem to have much of a response for what these guys are bringing. Even when they do make a play, Weibo just makes one better.
And the problem is for NRG that you don't really have control now on this top end. So when Rift Herald starts to spawn, if you contest Rift Herald, you lose top tower, which is all going to go in favor of Weibo anyway. And now Kraken Slayer completed for Light as well. He's in such a good spot.
Yeah, and it's so difficult too because Weibo, with this very tanky bruiser build for Aatrox with the Gore Drinker into the Sterix Gauge, very too powerful item combination, by the way. He's going to have a lot of priority in the side lanes to set up these moves for Weibo. So Weibo will have an easy time clearing out the vision, and then you constantly have to check over your shoulder. Where's the Rel? Where's the Nico? Where is the engage going to come from?
And it was this Aatrox that was such a problem for Mad Lions. We saw Niski get massive kill advantage. We thought he was going to be able to carry, but then the Gore Drinker Sterix came through for the Aatrox, and the Shy was like, I'm back in my element. And it feels like we're getting to his element once more here, as he's going to be such a massive factor. Now NRG pushing in top, pushing in mid, actually will give them first move over towards this Rift Herald. I thought Weibo would have been happy to try and answer with a push in top, but they're just not
集団戦で負けてもスマートドラゴン取ったし、今回のヘラルドも取れるか。
is kind of coming over, and second Rift Herald does take a little bit longer.
取れそうですね。
But it seems like Energy should be able to wrap this one up with that eyeball pop. Again, there are no turret plates available for this one, and you just saw how much extra money Weibo had gotten off of turret plates here, so they don't feel too bad about just giving this lone secondary Rift Herald up and allowing the Shy to continue to split push down on bottom side. You can see on the minimap, he's about to get that wave into the bottom side. I wonder how low that turret even is on the bottom side because he should be able to finish it.
レーンのゴールドさ
Red.
結構ついちゃってる
Even
な
support is
3000
900
ゴールドぐらい
here
合
in
計で
this
ついちゃってる
game. Weibo running every single matchup.
Yeah, that's a lane economy shot to the hearts of LCS fans.
I believe they're still loading the energy bars.
15分で3000ゴールドさ
There's a bug on that graphic, still loading. We'll get that
That's
fixed.
what we'll go with.
Get that fixed for you real quick.
Quick reminder, LoL Esports does not recommend lethal levels of copium.
相沢ストームレイサーしちゃって
Disclaimer there with an asterisk.
I'm well adapted to
脅威
it
じゃない
because
ぞ
I've
カイ
been
さん
on it for 12 years.
And the
やっぱり
minions
レル
take the top
レルと
lane
エイ
tier
トロッ
one
クス相
turret.
手
That
に
means
脅威
there
だ
is
と
no local gold going over to the side of Weibo, so not
顔
quite
式
as
出
much
ません
money
か
as
な
they could have possibly got, but still taking another objective from their opponents. They now have a 2-0 turret lead 16 minutes into the game.
I mean, I appreciate the silver linings, but I think for NRG,
確
they
か
want
に
to
さ
try
っ
and
き
get
の
a
試合
little
も
bit
そん
more
な
here.
感じで
You
した
can
ね
see
ヘ
Shams
ラ
on
ル
the top
ド
side.
の
That's
力でようやくタワーイーブンにしたけど
Can they get the dive?
Looks like they're coming around forward. Ignar not going to go in. They do not have eyes on the rest of Weibo. They do not want to overcommit.
And that's the thing, the lack of vision's really hurting them.
で
With
もしょう
Weibo
がない
having
ヘラルド
so
の
much
力で
control
取り
over
返
what's
してい
been
くしか
happening
ないです
mid,
よ
top, river, even their own jungle. It's been really hard for
この
NRG
ロー
to
テ
get
ーション
this
の
vision
うま
deeper
さ
into the top side so they can try and make these plays. So when it's only Light who's actually showing the map, they're a bit wary of trying to go for these plays, especially with the Shy having that TP up again.
The Shy has that Sterix gauge now fully completed. The item comparison in top lane
確かに
is just absolutely massive. 1 mythic plus 2 cloth armors and a better boot versus 2 fully completed items. The
いや
Shy
難
is
しいなこ
running
れ
this show from morning till night. Whenever he's fighting in his 1v1 on the side. Meanwhile, the Rift Herald
アリスターにオリアナのボールを
That's
つけ
gonna
て
guarantee they can take the tier 1 turret. We'll see
ア
if
リ
they
ス
want
タ
to
ーオ
try
リ
to
ア
push
ナの
ahead
コン
to
ボ
gain anything else.
5人に決めましょう
Contracts moving forward to clear out the control ward here in the
それ
front
で
rush.
自由です
As no, they do not want to overcommit to this one. Herald's going to get cleared out before he gets the second charge.
We're kind of running into the stage that I was afraid of, Dagda, where Energy aren't going to have as much damage really to follow this up. You know, with Orianna just on a Ludens and with FBI going this longer scaling build for the Kai'Sa now, where everybody's rushing the Storm Razor, Weibo right now have so many options, like we said, the side lane as well as the team fight here. So
い
with
や
this
ーエイ
dragon,
トロックスに
maybe
行くは完成
the vision advantage could be
強いぞ
something that Energy can use to get a foothold back into this game.
Contract's just ticking over to level 9 as well. He's been put really far behind. I think it's a bit of a one-way ticket for him if he goes in, but he might need to punch that to try and get this fight started for NRG.
Meanwhile, back in mid, it's the Magnet Storm committed by Weiwei, forcing out the Unbreakable Will from Ignar. That means that not only is it the Vi, but the Alistar too. If he decides to go in, he's not getting back out if Energy decides to fight.
I kind of like the idea of not fighting. Fighting was making me real nervous here. And especially after that, looks like Energy will just give it up. Dragon number 2, not going to move the needle on the entire game that much.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate for NRG that when they look at the map state, they can't really get much
エ
more
ンドラ
for
ゴン
the
ファイト
Dragon.
できず
Top tier 2 is a long ways away from being under any
マウン
real
テンソ
pressure.
ードで
They
す
would
か
love
今
to try
回
and
は
create some pressure down towards this bottom side, but obviously that's where Weibo have concentrated their efforts. So it just ends up in a bit of a weird spot where NRG, where you kind of watch Weibo take the Dragon without being able to answer for very much elsewhere.
Yeah, weird is a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
Quite a painful spot there. And not too many other options. Just re-put
先ほど
up
と
your
同じように
defensive ward
静か
line.
な試合ですね
And in stages like this,
静かです
you have to remain vigilant and you have to be ready to pounce on an opportunity that presents itself. One lazy transition from one side of the map to the other between one of these objectives by Weibo, Energy have to jump on that to try and change the course of their fates.
I mean, we've seen it happen to North American teams a lot of times in the past at these international events when they get leads and they then have one of those lazy transitions. They don't do their due diligence setting up for an objective and the other squad will end up punishing them. We've been praising Energy for how they played a lot of these fights, how they managed in their ability to qualify for the quarterfinal stage. And in that first game, even though they lost, they had a lot of good looks. But now, can they weather the storm? Can they play from behind and manage to find that angle?
We have a lot of people hovering on bottom side. Alistar was seen in the river.
ちょっとガンク難
Contract's
しい
still
か
here, though. Remember with this
難し
janky
そう
bruiser
じゃ
build
ないですか
though, Merc treads plus the Sterich gauge pop plus the Gore Drinker.
They don't kill him.
It's not like you're going to instantly pick off the Shy. you're going to pick off the Shy, and then you have to fight the Shy for a long time before you take him down.
And you have to be so careful about putting resource into bot side. Baron is up and
アフ
available.
レスのシールドが分厚すぎてリコール阻害できませんでした。
Alongside it, Xiao Hu in a good spot. Like you,
シールドでダメージを受けた分はリコール阻害の対象になりませんから。
The Rage Blade on FBI to have a hope here.
I actually don't think with only 2 dudes you can kill the Shy at all. Not with Sterix and Gore Drinker being the core items. I think he just gets away.
Unless he decides to let you.
Yeah.
Oh, benevolent one.
Yeah, you got to say your prayers, and maybe if he grants it to you, it'll happen. But I just don't see that being the case. Not with the current game state. We'll see how long Energy can hold on and try to get themselves the angle to bring things back. Because right now, Weibo's still running the show. They're up 3,000 gold. They're up 1 Drake. They're up 1 turret. And they're still pushing out the waves up here in the mid lane.
静かな試合ですな。
The Baron's live. It's control over the top side river for Weibo.
Contracts just trying to sneak in, get vision, make sure that they're actually able to keep eyes on this. They're looking at Weiwei, but they don't know where Weibo is, so good call, back away, and just try and keep doing what you're doing. Get gold onto Palafox, get gold onto this Kaista, catch the waves. Like, yes, Light is going to become a monster, but Palafox, if he can get a big shockwave, and you get that point-and-click CC from Contracts, that's a dead Aphelios regardless.
Yeah, they have to funnel the money here for Energy.
Uh-oh. FBI in some trouble, flashing away from the ulti. He knows how much damage Light is going to do from a long way away.
そうですね、至るところで戦闘が起きていたんですけど、でもアフロスのプレーでカイサのフラッシュなくなりましたよ。
Critical victories here from Weibo might even allow them to start up this Baron. FBI got sent back to base. He's got his flash. He's got his Rage Blade.
このゲームもかなり成熟してきたということですか。マクロ面で。お互いに甘えがなくなって静かなゲーム展開になっているということですか。
Forcing Energy to come try to answer them after they got those summoner spells.
Yeah, I mean, Douglas Cassante, but you have to be careful you don't Cassante it, because at the moment with Light being as strong as he is and having all the CC that's there for Weibo, like, you can't really face check. And yes, you have 2 items, but if you're
森山が涙買う時とそうでない時、
you just don't have the team fight set up for
何なんだろう
Energy.
な、
I
違
think
い
some of
は。
the best things that Douglas could do actually would just be to try and keep Xiaohu out.
涙、セラフのいいところはシールドもらえるところとマナがたくさんもらえるところだけど、勝ってる時と勝ってない時があるのはなぜなのか。買わなくていいんだったらいらないと思うんだけどな。敵の構成もさっきとほとんど変わってないのに今回だけ涙を購入する。これは一体。
Lean down to that bot side. They have the vision that they need to actually settle into this river. And then for NRG, it's about trying to fight back on this mid wave to then lean through into that bottom side. They don't have control of their bot wave either, so this is really tough for NRG to fight.
Okay, at least they have their 2 item power spikes on both carries now. Palafox with his Seraphs finished for the Orianna. And Rage Blade already been done for FBI.
いや、ミディオがついてるアフロス強いですよ。
The Shy still hanging around the bottom half of the map, but remember the
アフロスにはミディオがついてるけど、カイサには誰もついてない。アリスターはエンチャンターではないですよ。お、これ。
Throwing the ball into the brush. Weiwei having to back away again now. 5,000 HP left to the Baron. Weiwei goes into the back.
バトル開始。で悪くない。カサンテとアリスターにしか何かも入ってないけど。カイサ殿？ちょっと。
A double kill back of life. The Shy puts a blade through the heart of Contracts.
And
Palafox and Dokla can do nothing but look on as Weibo will absolutely decimate North America's team.
The combo was separated from NRG and Weibo pounds immediately onto RNG and now they turn towards the Baron.
Light did such a good job cutting back with his gale force. Now the Baron 6,000 HP and dropping.
Game number 1, they had to do a 3v5, now it's a 2v4. Dokla going in.
これレロをキルしてスマイトを打てなくしましたね。ナイス。途中のカサンテ強いぞ。バロン止めました。止めた。ナイス。
Game 1 again. Are we going to turn towards the Baron once more?
Well, Palafox and Dokla They look like they're recalling Dokla here. He's got his teleport. They're going to go for it. They're going for the same play.
They're doing it again.
この人うまいですよね。
Going after the Baron.
NRG のトップの方、初めて見る方なんですけど、うまいです、この人。まずい、ニーコのウルト4人に入ってしまい、アフロス倒しきれるか、これ。倒しきれず。あいよー。
One Baron buff gets out alive, and Light survives as well with only about 100 HP at the end there. They get scrappy again. This series exciting at every single objective. Here's another
ここ、
look
カ
at
イサ、何があったんだ。カイサフリーディールですよ。バイのウルトに合わせて。バイのウルトに合わせてカイサ止めたけど、エイトロックスに打ち上げられて何もできなかったのか。
Exactly. It was the ultimate combo breaker there for WBG2. Because
これザシャイが予想してたということですか。
full sent it in with contracts. The Kaisa and the Vi.
カイサの侵入を。
With the dive. But because they also didn't have that ball, they weren't able to get their kill. Now, here's another look at it though. This is after they restarted it.
いやー、このニーコ。
To start it out on the Nico does get the big pop blossom. Shockwave
これ
does
とバンされ続けていたチャンピオン。
kind of tag them and keep them low on the outside, but the job was already done. Light's able to take them down. Dokla barely unable to take down the other carry his contract away.
You just don't have the damage once FBI is down. You can see Bramble Barrett hits onto FBI alongside the ultimate, and at that stage then Light's able to get the Inferno across the top.
マウンテンソウルもリーチ。
The idea there was everybody full send on Light and immediately kill. Here we go.
All right, Weiwei's the target. They're sending everything on the enemy jungler.
これ死なないのか。
Is not enough. Contracts at 200 HP is
ミリオのウルトとレディアントパーチの力か。
FBI marked by Light.
いや、全部使いました。リソース全部入ったので戦えません。
Still going forward. Infernal chains back onto the Alistar, pulls him into place. Not enough damage. WBG nearly gets a kill, but not quite.
Positioning for WBG mid though. They want the Casante.
おお、令和のチャンピオン。アンストッパブルだけど、さすがに逃げられず。
Light is unstoppable, and he shines bright with the rest of WBG underneath the tier 2, or what was left of it after the push finds its way forward. It's a 6,000 gold lead for WBG,
バロンバフ、バイが一人だけ持ってる状態ですか。 いや、バロンバフ持ってる側なんだけど、どんどん押し込まれます。やめてー、あいやー。
And Light is making a highlight reel out of these guys.
Run from it! Hide from it! Love it or hate it! Aphelios has made it to the world stage! And WBG want to ride those coattails to another victory here against NRG!
All right, they're going to back off those Nexus turrets.
これが右をアフロスのパワー。
WBG have laid waste to the energy base. Bottom side turrets down. They're taking away the red jungle as well. Contracts has something to say about it, but he's forced to flash out.
Contracts thought he had something to say about it, but WBG immediately
いやー、難しいですよ、NRG。
He was just sorry.
とても難しい。
It was, please don't. Okay, fine, sorry. Meanwhile, now they're looking for the shot. Pick their way back in.
All right, they're going after the Aatrox, but he's already got the Sterix. He's finding a lot of healing, but it ain't going to be enough. Shut down over the Contracts. Xiaohu makes a TP, but what can they find? Ignar looking to regroup. They got to try to save FBI. He slammed back into the ground, and Xiaohu found him. Now we got a 4v4. Even fight, but it looks like WBG doesn't want to take it.
This is something that in the LCS, Energy were quite adept at.
Even
in games where they were behind, they just full send, look for picks when people are recalling, when people are trying to reset, when people are going for objectives, and just try and force their way back into games. Energy were never a team to go down quietly. They always try and fight their way back into it.
And that nearly would have been a good pick. If that
よ
gold
う
had
やく
gone to
1キル
FBI, you'll see it here, 1,000 gold shutdown off this pick onto the shy, but actually ends up going to contracts in the end. They just don't
入って
quite
も
get the kill
おか
across
しくなさそうで
FBI.
すけれど
They
も
see the TP coming through from Xiaohu. They have to try and get this Aatrox off of FBI. And then at that stage, FBI's already burned Flash. Xiaohu has the opportunity to chase
い
him
やーこ
down.
のニ
But
ーコ
Weibo will happily nab
どう
him
な
for
ってるんだこ
themselves.
のチャンピオン
Teleport in from Xiaohu there. FBI had flashed away from the Aatrox, so didn't have it there. Reset once again though, back to the action. Topside is getting pushed here by Weibo. Xiaohu got out there first.
これはバンされ続けてたのは納得ですよそのチャン
They
ピオン
will
やってる
pull
こ
it
とす
back
ごいぞ
here. It is a full minute until the next dragon.
今の死ぬんじゃ AGC どうしようもないぞ
Just like game number 1, Weibo are sitting in an amazing game state where they're the ones who can get the soul, they're the ones who can get the Baron, they're the ones who can pull energy apart to two different critical junctures of the map.
Especially if you're looking at, hey, we get Mountain Soul against this combo from NRG. That gives so much opportunity to Light to survive that big burst potential that NRG are trying to play around. That's why they're already positioned in towards
川の
this
視
dragon.
界
They
制
know
圧して
how
ます
crucial this could
NRG
be in shutting NRG out of this game.
All right, everybody grouped up around mid. North America is very familiar with this situation. The Shy getting jumped on by contracts here, loses a little bit of HP, but nothing too serious. Jumping right back in, goes for the Q3, but he won't find it.
強いぞ
Down to the world ender.
お
Ignore with a knockup on
悪
the
くない
two.
け
They
ど
crash down to FBI. He's under pressure.
カイサが
The Shy
必
is
死で
still
動
alive.
けず
Joker goes all out with the ball blossom, finds another one. The Shy
アリ
is
ス
still
ターが
alive.
うまく
He kills him, but FBI
ニーコ
finally got
弾い
him.
て
Ignore giving the other two away. And
弾
he
い
goes
たけ
for
ど
the
フロスがフリーなんです
the
わ
target. He can't be saved. And
あい
Light
や
is godlike. It's a 4v4 on the Rift as Weibo have control over the Drake pit and Contracts has no way in. Mountain Soul goes over to Weibo.
They don't have any opportunity to get in. Palafox is looking for something sneaky. Has no damage, no ult available. And
Mountain
it will
Soul.
be Weibo picking up the soul.
Mountain
TP
3回
available
の
on the
Mountain
shy.
Soul.
I think Weibo are going to rush Baron.
They certainly are, but so
カチカチ
are
ですよこれ
Energy.
は
Contracts is trying to get there early so he can get some vision.
The problem is, Dacta just said it. It's the TP for the Shy. As soon as he spawns, he's right there. Ignar's got to take the long way. And I
例
hope
の
that
CC
Cal's
多
been
すぎ
doing
て
his
カイスの
cardio.
クレンズ
Energy,
した後
there's
も
no way they
動
get
けな
there
か
in
ったな
time. The
しばら
Baron's
く
only at 5k. Weibo's gonna get the soul. Weibo's gonna get the Baron.
バランも
Weibo's
詰め
got
られず
everything.
これはアスリオス止まりま
Contracts
せ
tries to get away
ん
with the Vault Breaker. Tries to stay alive. Dokla's in the middle of everybody.
The shockwave.
Asante, he gets the shockwave placement over for Palafox.
うまいけ
A
ど
massive Q3, but there's no
うまいけど
follow-up.
ダメージ足ら
Weibo's
ない
in trouble as FBI and
エイトロッ
Contracts
ク
are
ス
now
が暴れ
fighting
て
the
る
Shy. They take him low, but they can't take him down. The Shy's Aatrox is the raid boss, and he's still fighting.
Nice.
Ignar finally drops him as they come in with a massive counterattack, and the Pop Blossom claims FBI. The follow-up claims Ignar, and Weibo is about to take the game.
Energy got the
It's a
shy, but
shy
Weibo are
shield.
coming
Da
for
けどこれ
the Nexus. They've got
お家
Baron
守れま
making
せん
push
よ
hard.
They may have got the raid boss, but it's not gonna matter. Weibo still pushing.
こんばんはですシャモモさん WCS 見てますよ NRG 対ウェイボーゲーミングの2試合目
Light is legendary.
やめて
And Palafox cannot stop him. Game number 1 was close. Game number 2, absolutely not. Dokla can't do it. He goes all
お
out,
カサンっ
but
て
he's
強
only
い
gonna buy a
けど
moment. Light is legendary, and Weiwei leads the charge. The Nexus is under pressure as Palafox
チームが
keeps
ザ・
trying
シ
to
ャイの
fight
頑張
back,
りを
but the Aphelios will take Nexus number 2.
無
And
駄にしなかった
Weibo, it's match point.
Weibo are not stopping here in the quarterfinals. Finding these consistent opportunities to turn around the small...